So I'll just put the facts together briefly for you so you can make your own conclusion because, I'm not going to be trying to convince you anymore. It's ridiculous. It's not my job. I'm just here giving the facts. And the first fact is that he's a liar, and the only proof that's upholding his reality that he didn't do it is him himself saying that never did it. But we can prove that he's a liar. Firstly, that he was wearing saffron while he was having illicit sex relationships with all sorts of people. The poor boy, his disciple, he made him remove his genitals and put woman genitals in there, and then he was living with him in the King's Cross. Now, do you think Prabhupada would do such a thing? So this is Prabhupada's successor. He's the world leader successor. He's in charge of the other 11. He was the main guru. He made sure that he was the main guru, Prabhupada's successor, and the other ones were just because they were following him, they did what he said. And Bhakti Churu and Tamal were both. Bhakti Churu staged his death because he knew, and Tamal was killed because he knew he was involved, as well as Bhakti Churu. So the main thing is to prove he's a liar. That's the first point, which we can do. And the other thing is that he's a cold-blooded killer. He killed 2 men in Mayapur who were returning after he had paid them to kill Sridhar Maharaj. So this is the sort of person he is. He's just ordering people to kill people. He's paying them. Just kill them. He says in the video himself, just shoot them in the head. And so there's a video of him talking about, well, it's not him talking, it's Henry Jolicoeur talking about Sulochana was forced to do oral sex on Bhavananda, and so he continued wearing saffron after that. So that's certainly a good reason that Bhavananda ordered Sulochana's death through Radhanath, his close friend. And so as I've been stacking up the points, they've just been coming. It's turned into a whole mountain since I started the book. And so I just want to give a very, very brief conclusion that's just undeniable. And the main point is the fact that, he's a cold-blooded killer. It looks like he killed Ayendra, who was onto him. And Kadamba Kannan had told me, yes, it was an inside job. He'd been sent in to kill. He'd been sent in to clean up the Vrindavan Gurukul, where Bhavananda was getting children from the railway stations, etc. And who knows what he's doing to them. But the whole thing has turned into a whole satanic child ritual abuse thing because Polly Woodward in Melbourne, who is the daughter of the father I used to sell books with initially, I know him very well, he was asked by Bhavananda to kill three men in Australia. And he did. He killed 2, and the third man he refused. And there's a series of Gurukul children who have been killed as well, who were about to blab on Bhavananda. He killed 1 boy in Melbourne, Matsya. And our headmaster is a witness to that, Edward Brungard. And no, I've got a whole tally of witnesses now. As a thing is that there's 800 witnesses on the group, and I've worded it so that, well, you're all witnesses. If you join this group, you're considered a witness. Devotees who believe Prabhupada was poisoned by Bhavananda, yes, we believe it. Well, they can come forward as a witness, and they can give an affidavit. So that's 800 against 1. I don't think Henry Ford's grandson's going to support him anymore when he sees the depth of this. Certainly Ambarish. Well, it's hard to say because they're cabal, but I know Ambarish wasn't in the room. The other thing is Gauridas Pandit was a servant of Prabhupada, and he was removed because the electrical cable was cut. He was electrified. And Bhavananda immediately became the body servant. And Bhavananda says in the video himself, he says, nothing went in or out without me. I was the body man. So it's really, really obvious. There's point after point, but the most horrendous of it is the fact that what Polly Woodward has been saying about, she was raped repeatedly by Bhavananda, and Jwalamukhi was saying, yeah, Bhavananda was involved in this satanic ritual abuse that she was subject to her whole life growing up. So now he's come forward with this Freemason sign and a ring, and he's been giving these Freemason signs all along. He's wearing a blue and white shirt with Bala, holding Bala by the neck. Bala I joined up with, so I'm privy to the whole thing. So I think it's a bit of a landslide win at this stage. I certainly knocked Mayashara out of the court, and he was the only one the GBC had paid to write. He was on my side now. He surrendered immediately. So I've just been pushing it, and the book will be out this week. But I just wanted to give a final conclusion of a few points that really push it into the very obvious category. I mean, it's no longer really to be wondered about or not if you put all these facts together, which aren't yet put together by anyone, because no one has it all. No one has all these details about, well, there's Kadamba Karnana and Ahindra and Salochana, and Killen was the guest house of Vrindavan. He was shot. And Bhavananda was the only one in ISKCON with a gun. And he was actually selling arms as well. So these are the few of the factors. There's many more, but I wanted to give a conclusion that's sort of pretty irrefutable, because Krishna is inspiring me at the moment to do that. And certainly there are more facts, and they'll be included in the website and the book. But there's just a skimming it. Thank you, Radhe Shyam.